What's up, Commanders fans? Welcome back to Commanders HQ, your go-to home for every rumor, every insider update, and every move shaping the future of our Washington Commanders. Before we dive in, I want to remind you, this channel is all about the Burgundy and Gold family. If you love this team and want to see them rise again, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's keep this community growing together. Now, let's talk about something that's really catching fire across the NFL right now, a potential blockbuster move that could completely reshape Washington's defense heading into the second half of the season. The Commanders have spent this season trying to find their identity, not just on offense with Jaden Daniels sidelined, but on defense as well. Dan Quinn has been pushing this roster to compete, to evolve, and to take that next step toward being a real NFC powerhouse. But let's be real, the pass rush hasn't been the same. After losing Dorrance Armstrong to a season-ending knee injury and struggling to generate consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks, Washington's defense has been giving up far too many clean pockets and explosive plays. Right now, they sit 25th in passing yards allowed and 24th in EPA per rush. That's not the kind of defensive production Quinn expected when he took the job. And that's exactly why the front office, led by Adam Peters, could be preparing to make a bold move before the trade deadline. According to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, teams across the league are circling the Miami Dolphins, who sit at a disastrous 1-7 record. With their playoff hopes slipping away, Miami could start unloading veteran talent to stockpile picks and reset for next year. And one of those big names being mentioned, Bradley Chubb, a former Pro Bowl pass rusher who still has plenty of juice left in him. Chubb's contract situation makes him even more attractive. No guaranteed money left after this season, giving Washington flexibility if they want to bring him in for a late-season boost without locking into a long-term deal. In Miami, he's already notched 7 sacks this season, showing that even in a struggling system, he's still capable of being a disruptive force. For a Commanders defense that's lost its edge since parting ways with Montez Sweat and Chase Young, Chubb could be exactly what this team needs. Chubb isn't just a pass rusher, he's a system fit. His versatility allows him to move inside, outside, stand up as a linebacker, or play with his hand in the dirt. That kind of adaptability is gold in Dan Quinn's defensive scheme, which thrives on movement, deception, and relentless pursuit. Think about pairing Chubb with Jonathan Allen and Frankie Louvu. That trio could bring back the intensity Washington fans have been craving, the kind of fear factor that makes opposing quarterbacks nervous in the pocket. Adding Chubb also takes pressure off the young secondary. The Commanders' DBs have been tested all season long, often left in one-on-one matchups because the front four couldn't generate enough consistent heat. A player like Chubb changes that equation immediately. Now, let's talk about the business side. Miami would likely be looking for draft capital, maybe a third-round pick, possibly paired with a mid-level player to offset some salary. The Commanders are in a good position to make that kind of move. They've got cap space, future flexibility, and most importantly, a sense of urgency. Sitting at 3-4, this team can't afford to let the season slip away. If they believe this roster still has the potential to make a run, trading for Chubb would send a clear message. The Commanders aren't giving up on 2025. They're fighting for every win, every inch, every ounce of progress. And speaking of momentum, there's some really good news on the offensive side too. For the first time in weeks, the Commanders' receiving core looks close to full strength. Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel, who both have been sidelined with injuries, are officially back as full participants in practice and are on track to suit up for Monday night's showdown against the Kansas City Chiefs. This could not come at a better time. McLaurin hasn't played since Week 3 due to a quad injury, and his return brings back the team's top deep threat and emotional leader. Deebo Samuel, who missed last week's game with a heel issue, is also ready to roll, giving Marcus Mariota a full arsenal for what could be one of the biggest tests of the season. With Jaden Daniels still nursing that hamstring injury, Marcus Mariota will get his third start of the season. Now, let's be honest. Mariota isn't Daniels. He doesn't bring that same electricity or dual-threat explosiveness. But he's been around the league long enough to manage big games, and he's 2-0 lifetime against the Chiefs. That experience could be crucial on Monday night in Arrowhead Stadium, one of the toughest places to play in all of football. Head coach Dan Quinn has made it clear Daniels is expected back next week against the Seahawks, but this game is all about survival and making a statement. At 3-4, this matchup is more than just about getting back to 500. It's about setting the tone for the rest of the year. If Washington can somehow pull off the upset against a red-hot Kansas City team, a franchise that has beaten the Washington Commanders in 10 of 11 all-time meetings, it would be a monumental confidence boost heading into the back half of the season. And with McLaurin, Samuel, Luke McCaffrey, and Zach Ertz all ready to contribute, the offense might just have the firepower to make things interesting. Ertz leads the team with 4 touchdowns, while McCaffrey continues to emerge as one of the more reliable rookie playmakers. This is where everything comes together. The front office, the coaching staff, the players, and yes, even us fans. Bradley Chubb represents more than just a trade target. He's a symbol of Washington's intent, a sign that the rebuild isn't about waiting for the future, but about building something right now. Getting Terry and Debo back, that's a reminder that this team still has its heartbeat. And with Dan Quinn demanding accountability, effort, and execution, the Commanders are proving they won't settle for mediocrity. Week after week, we've watched the same script unfold. The opposing quarterback picks apart the middle of the field, tight ends and slot receivers find open grass, and Washington gives up big plays at the worst possible moments. It's been frustrating, and even the players know it. The back 7, linebackers and defensive backs, have struggled mightily in coverage, and teams around the league have figured out exactly where to attack. After the latest loss to the Dallas Cowboys, head coach Dan Quinn looked fed up. He didn't sugarcoat it in the post-game press conference, saying that some plays would be taken off the call sheet after reviewing the film. That's coach talk for we're done running the same stuff that keeps getting us beat. And for the first time this season, it looks like Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. are actually backing those words up with action. Joe Witt pulls the trigger. Witt met with the media on Friday and didn't hide it. Changes are coming. Real changes.
He said the Commanders are finally shaking things up on defense and younger players will start seeing real playing time. And while he said this move should have happened earlier, the truth is injuries forced their hand. The losses of Dietrich Wise Jr. and Dorrance Armstrong, both to significant injuries, have left Washington dangerously thin on the edges. With Armstrong going down early against Dallas, the Commanders shifted into a 3-4 defensive look, something we haven't seen much of this season. That new alignment featured J-Dub Martin and Frankie Louvu as the outside linebackers, while 3 big bodies clogged the middle: Jonathan Allen, Darren Payne, and John Ridgway. It was a different look, but it gave fans a glimpse into how this coaching staff might reimagine the defense moving forward. The youth movement finally begins, and here's where it gets exciting, or at least hopeful. Witt Jr. confirmed that this shift in scheme will finally open the door for younger players like Jordan McGee and Kane Medrano. McGee, a rookie linebacker out of Temple, has flashed potential in limited snaps. He's fast, instinctive, and, maybe most importantly, he can cover, something veteran Bobby Wagner has struggled with this season. Teams have been picking on Wagner in passing situations, and it's been brutal to watch. He's still a great leader and tackler, but the speed just isn't there anymore. As for Kane Medrano, the 5th-round rookie who was drafted specifically for his coverage ability, he hasn't played a single defensive snap yet this year. Not one. The Commanders have been content to let him sit while older veterans got torched week after week. That's finally about to change. According to Witt Jr., both McGee and Medrano will be part of the rotations starting this week. And honestly, that's the kind of spark this team desperately needs. Injuries forcing evolution. It's a shame it took injuries to make this happen. Armstrong and Wise are both big losses, no doubt about it. But those setbacks have forced Quinn and Witt to think creatively. to look deeper into the roster, and to finally trust the youth movement that's been waiting in the wings. Luvu will spend more time on the edge, where his explosive first step can cause havoc, while McGee will get a shot to run the middle as the inside backer. That shift not only adds speed to the defense, but also frees up Wagner to take on a more situational role, using his experience on early downs or in short yardage packages. It's not the ideal scenario, but it might just be the one that helps this defense find its identity again.